Hello and welcome to Inside the VI. I'm your host, Aaron Schultz. On this week's episode, we have our playoff coverage from this week so far. I'll be covering the series between the Comox Valley Glacier Kings and the Nanaimo Buccaneers. Our own Christopher McMullen will be covering the West Shore Wolves and the Saanich Braves. And our own Tally Campbell has two series for you between the Oceanside Generals and the Campbell River Storm, and the Victoria Cougars and the Cary Park Islanders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Inside the VI. Welcome to Inside the VI. This is episode 23. First, we're joined on by our news correspondent Tally Campbell, who has covering the series between the Oceanside Generals and the Campbell River Storm. Tally?
Thank you. That's right. The Campbell River Storm, who led the North Division throughout the entire season, took on the wildcard winner, the Oceanside Generals, and Game 1 took place at the Rod Brenner Arena in Campbell River, where the Storm took it away by a score of 4-1. The first goal was scored by Will McNamara, followed by Kobayashi. In the second period, Brendan Bellata of the Oceanside Generals scored to make it 2-1, but from that point on, it was all Campbell River, as Michael Olsen and Gage Copeland would score to make it 4-1. Shots were 67-12 in favor of the Campbell River Storm. David Anderson did stand on his head, but it was not enough as the Storm take game number 1 by a score of 4-1. And game number 2 was more lopsided as the Campbell River Storm used their home ice advantage to their advantage by beating the Oceanside Generals by a score of 10-2. 13 different skaters got on the score sheet, registering at least 1 point, and the Campbell River Storm lead the series by a 2-0 game lead. And game number 3 headed down south to the Oceanside place in Parksville, where the Campbell River Storm led the way again by a score of 5-1. Again, another win for the Campbell River Storm. They now lead the series 3-0. Game number 4, it is a sudden death game for the Oceanside Generals, as if the Storm win, they sweep the series. That again, game number 4 goes February 24th, Tuesday in Oceanside. Pass things now to Aaron Schultz, who has a look at the Nanaimo Buccaneers and Comox Valley Glacier King series. Schultz?
Thanks, Tally. The series began at the Comox Valley Sports Center, where the Nanaimo Buccaneers struck first blood by defeating the Comox Valley Glacier Kings 5-2 to take a 1-0 series lead. The Nanaimo Buccaneers had an outstanding 4-0 lead after 2 periods, with goals from Gareth Heathcote, Quinlan Moore, Jordan Levesque, and Trent Bell. The Glacier Kings made a 4-2 game, but it was too little, too late. Game 2 would take place on the Bucks' home ice surface this time at the Nanaimo Ice Center, where the Glacier Kings would even up the series at 1 game apiece with an exciting 4-3 overtime win. The lead changed 3 times during the game with 6 different goal scorers, but last goal scorer would be from the Glacier Kings' Graydon McKines, who netted the OT winner in 47 seconds. Game 3 would go back to the Comox Valley, where the Glacier Kings took the series lead at 2-1 with a 5-3 win over the Nanaimo Buccaneers. It was Ty Madden, Austin McNeil, Grant Isles, and Kyle Wade who each scored in a massive first period for the Glacier Kings as they went on for the win. And it was a deficit the Buccaneers couldn't recover from, as they only managed 19 shots on goal during the game. As of February 22nd, the Comox Valley Glacier Kings lead the Nanaimo Buccaneers 2-1. Game 4 will take place Monday, February 23rd at the Nanaimo Ice Center in Nanaimo at 7 p.m. We're now going to be joined by our own Christopher McMullen, who's covering the West Shore Wolves and the Saanich Braves. Christopher?
Thanks, Tally. And Game 1 between the West Shore Wolves and the Saanich Braves took place at the Q Center in Langford, as the Braves shocked the Wolves, defeating them on home ice 4-1. The Wolves would initially lead the game 1-0 after the first, but that lead would quickly evaporate when the Saanich Braves scored 4 unanswered goals, making the win 4-1 for the Saanich Braves. The Saanich Braves leading the series 1-0 at this point. Most of that thanks to Saanich Braves goaltender Brandon Ward, who would stop 39 of the 40 shots he faced. The Wolves would bounce back after the next game at George Perks Arena in Saanich with a monster 7-3 win. James Severs would lead the way offensively for the Wolves, taking a hat trick, while Chris Smith, goaltender for the Saanich Braves, would calm down a little bit after initially letting in 3 goals in just the first 23 minutes of the game. Game 3 would be the closest game by far in the series, with the West Shore Wolves taking it 3-2 in overtime on home ice. Jordan Martin scoring the final goal in overtime at 16 minutes 44 seconds. As of Sunday, February 22nd, the West Shore Wolves lead the series 2-1, with the next game scheduled to take place on Monday, February 23rd at 6 p.m., taking place at George Perks Arena. Well, I'm now joined on the line by West Shore Wolves goaltender Chris Smith. Chris, first question for you. Any surprises so far this series?
I think both teams knew it was going to be a hard-fought series, and it's been nothing short of that so far.
And Chris, a recent overtime win led to you guys leading in this series. What would you say a lead like this means for you guys?
Oh, it's huge right now. We just have to keep playing for the next 2 games coming up, and hopefully come up on top.
And lastly, Chris, big game 4 coming up soon. What do you guys do to prepare for such a big game?
I think we have to just keep playing our styles, be physical, get pucks deep, and yeah.
Thanks a lot, Chris. That's Chris Smith of the West Shore Wolves joining us on the line. Best of luck in the rest of your series. Well, we're going to join Tally Campbell, who's standing by outside the studio with the latest on the Victoria Cougars versus the Kerry Park Islanders. Tally?
Great, thank you, Chris. Returning series now to the Victoria Cougars with the Kerry Park Islanders, where the Cougars have led the way so far. Game number 1 at the Archie Browning Centre. They blew it out by a score of 10-1. Michael Fretz leading the way with 2 goals and 2 assists. And game number 2 heading to the Kerry Park Islanders arena. The score was more respectful of the hometown fans. The Victoria Cougars still took away the lead by a score of 4-1. Sam McMullen had 2 goals, even the game winner. We'll talk to Sam a little bit later on in this program. Leighton Williams, goaltender for Kerry Park Islanders, was outstanding, making 54 saves. But that said, it was not enough as the Victoria Cougars take game number 2 by a score of 4-1. And lastly, game number 3 heading back to Victoria, the Archie Browning Centre. It was like game number 1 as Victoria Cougars took the game by a score of 9-0. Michael Fretz was a big star again, 2 goals and an assist, while Grant Wayne only stopped 17 shots for the shutout. The Victoria Cougars now lead this series by 3-0. And finally, I'm now joined by Sam McMullen on the line right now via Skype right now. Sam McMullen plays the Victoria Cougars. Sam, before we get into playoff talk, 99 points in the regular season is a fantastic achievement. Talk about that, what it meant to you to get 99 points.
It's something I didn't think was possible reaching. My teammates definitely helped me along the way, and it could have been possible without my line mates throughout the year. So credit definitely goes to them too. It's not just my personal goal, it's the whole team's goal, and the team helped me out. So it means a lot to win that scoring leader and get that number.
Well, again, a big congratulations on 99 points. It's a great achievement in the VIJHL. You guys right now are leading this series against Kerry Park Islanders 3-0. Has this been an easier series than you expected?
Not really. Going into the playoffs, you can't really underestimate anybody. Game 1, we came out, we dictated the pace, and then game 2, they didn't surprise us, but they showed us how well they can play, and they were tight checking, and they kind of took it to us for about 40 minutes. So kind of was a wake-up call for us going into today, and we tried to dictate the pace as best we could today.
You're averaging more than 2 points per game already in 3 games. You have 7 points. Has your role changed from the regular season to playoffs at all?
My role's changed to the fact that everything becomes more important. So I still have to produce. Obviously, that's what the team looks for me to do, but my role's changed to the fact where I have to have that big hit. I have to have that block shot. I have to be the guy going to the corners at all times. And so does everybody else. Everybody's role kind of goes up that one notch going into playoffs, and it's just a complete team effort to get the win.
And last, talking about the 3 games up on the Kerry Park Islanders, your potential chance to sweep the Kerry Park Islanders coming up very soon here. Is that on your mind at all?
No, we just try to take this 1 game at a time, and we don't look at series per se. We look at the next game, and we prepare 1 game at a time. And looking ahead is probably the worst thing you can do in playoffs. So we're getting prepared for Tuesday and doing all the little things, doing all the right things before the game.
Great, thank you, Sam, and good luck in the rest of the playoffs. That's Sam McMullen for the Victoria Cougars. We pass things back inside of the news desk. Here's Aaron Schultz. Schultz?
Thanks, Tally. And before we leave, we have a quick interview with Comox Valley Glacier Kings player Lucas Rumson. Now, Lucas, it's been a heated series already between the Buccaneers and the Glacier Kings. Talk about how the series has been so far and predict how long you'll think it will go. Everyone here at Inside the VI thinks that'll go 7 games.
Yeah, it's been really good. The intensity's been pretty high, and you can tell that it's pretty quick out there, and yeah, pretty physical. So it's been good, and I don't know if I can really make any predictions, but it's been pretty even. But yeah, it's been really good.
Game 4 of the series is coming up just on Monday. Are there going to be any changes to your game for Game 4?
No, I wouldn't really say so. I think the first game we didn't really play how we wanted to, but the last 2 games we've been on track and doing some good things. So I think for the most part we're just gonna keep rolling with the momentum and yeah, just keep going here.
Lucas, this is your first playoff run in the VIJHL. Has it been any different from any other leagues that you've played in?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've never played in the playoffs, so this is my first time, and it's been a really good experience so far. It's definitely much more intense than the regular season, and yeah, much more physical, and the speed's up there, and the skills up there as well. So, yeah, it's been fun so far.
Great, thanks Lucas, and best of luck for the rest of the series. Now it's Lucas Romson of the Comox Valley Glacier Kings giving his thoughts on the series so far between the Nanaimo Buccaneers and the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. And that will conclude this week's episode of Inside the VI. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Inside the VI for all the latest news regarding the VIJHL, and stay tuned Inside the VI as we will continue our weekly playoff coverage. Thanks for tuning in, and have yourselves a wonderful week.